Hey gang, Michael Daniels here. This is for you guys Zoom settings, all the settings that you have as a choice here when you first start up Zoom. Check this out. Okay, so today here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on the Zoom app, and you can see that on screen here. I'm going to double click it, or you can right click and hit open, which you just saw me do. Now this is the desktop app for Zoom. Okay, so this is Zoom's desktop app. There's a couple ways to get to settings, and that's what we're going to look at today. You can hit the gear wheel and immediately settings opens up. You can actually click on your icon in the top right. I can see that I'm signed in with my Tinkering account. I can click that, and then I can go to settings there. Both of them open the exact same menu. Now we're going to walk through step by step each one of these and what each one does. So let's get right to it. Okay. So the first line, and I may say second, third, whatever. I'm just going to say each line, but I'll point to it in post-production. I'll show you exactly where I'm talking about. So start Zoom when you start Windows. I don't particularly do this because I don't like to have a ton of things open it up when I start Windows. I like to start fresh. It's your option. You can do that. Okay, the next one. When closed, minimize window to the notification area instead of the taskbar. And what they're talking about there is, here's the taskbar on the Windows machine, and down here in the notification area is where it's talking about when it's closed. So it's down over here. It would be down over here in one of these, or possibly on your bar, however you have that set up. That's a Windows setting. Next is dual monitors. As you can see right here, I have chosen use dual monitors. Okay, I love to use dual monitors. There's a couple things that change and do things when you use dual monitors. As you can see here, I have the main Zoom window. That's the main one. And then this is my little side second one that I have. I have it floating over here. This allows you to see the two windows. So this is when I screen share. This is what the folks are going to see. The screen share comes over here. This is really great for presentations. You can throw that presentation in the other window while having your window shown there on screen. And really what it helps with too is the PowerPoint notes. You could keep those separately so it doesn't tie up the same window. Keep in mind, this doesn't work unless you have this one, what I call the orange and blue menu. If you don't have that orange and blue menu open, it won't work. So you have to open up the Zoom app in order for this feature to work. This is what it looks like when I come in on my mobile, and I know it's my mobile because I can put my finger over the camera. So that's my mobile, and then this is what shows me when there's only two people in there. When there's three people or four people or whatever, the main window area shows all the people, and then whoever's speaking comes over to the little side window. If someone comes in and they decide to screen share, like if I come in on my mobile right now and I decide to screen share, what happens is the two people that are in, you can see how that comes up, and then you can see the screen share in that separate one. This is kind of nice if you have like set people in set areas that you have and you want to use that, then you have this as an option. So dual desktops is awesome tool, and I use it every time. I just do. Next up on the list is enter full screen automatically when starting or joining a meeting. I do not like to enter into full screen. I like things where they are and that kind of stuff. So this particular one, I do not use that at all. This next one, automatically copy invitation URL once the meeting starts. Okay, on this one, I didn't even know it was an option. So glad that they've added this one, because now I have a link and I can copy and paste that. Instead of copy and paste and going and finding it, I automatically have it copied into my clipboard, so I'm ready to go. Very convenient. The next one, ask me to confirm when I leave a meeting. This is, I have this on, as you can see, as always. I mean, always, because display a prompt to confirm if you want to leave the meeting after clicking leave meeting. I don't want to just leave the meeting. I want it to make sure that, oops, did I hit that properly? Is that what I wanted to do? I like to have a display of my connected time. It allows you here to display the total time you have been in the current meeting. So for example, if you look at the top of my meeting, you can see a countdown timer in the top right. It lets me know how long I've actually been in this meeting. You can see it in the background there. If you have scheduled meetings, which I don't use that feature, but it definitely has that, you can get a reminder. Display a notification at the specified time before your meetings start. This is a great one if you start up Zoom at the start of Windows, when you open up your Windows, because then it's always on, it's always there, you're going to get those reminders. But if I don't even have it open, I'm not going to get those reminders. So keep that in mind. You have an option for it to time out, stop my video and audio when my display is off or a screensaver begins. This is an option you can have for that. And you can change your reaction skin tone to accommodate all different sorts of folks out there. Next, we're going to go down one to video. You can see here, you can see the webcam that I'm using. I can do a 16:9 or an original ratio. I can enable HD. This uses HD in your meetings when you're doing that. Sometimes you may need to mirror your video. If, for example, if I need to mirror it, I can do like this. Let's say you have something that's not showing properly. You can mirror that so it does show properly. Okay, like if you're wearing a hat and you don't see the, hey, that doesn't look right, flip it, that's fine. Touch up my appearance. This is one that is fun. If you look really closely, I mean, it's just basically I have wrinkles under my eye. It starts to take some of that. Okay, it doesn't work very well, but it's mostly around my cheeks. It kind of cleans it up and it just softens it up. It's kind of cool if you want to do that. I don't think it actually makes you younger, but it makes you look like you're a little bit younger. Let's go to meetings. Always display participant names on their video. Display participant name overlaid on their videos. This is when they come into the meeting. You can actually have this so it doesn't, so it turns off. They have to. I think they can turn it on, but I'm not positive of that because I've always left that on. So because I mean, it's about the people, right? Turn off my video when joining a meeting. No, I have it actually. I think it's the next one. Always, let's see. It always shows a preview dialogue because I want that preview dialogue to come up that says, hey, you're getting ready to come in here. I can come in with video or without video. So I turn it on and off there. Hide non-video participants. You can actually click this, and if they have just their name up there, like you've seen on some things where it has videos of people that come in with a video, and then anyone that just has their name or an avatar, then it would hide those ones that don't have not a video. Spotlight my video when I speak. What this does is it puts you on video as the primary active speaker whenever I speak. That's a setting you can set that for. Right now it'll show 25 people on screen if you have that many people, and then it has a little arrow to go to the next, but they just moved that or changed that, and you can have the option right here to go to 49 participants per screen in the gallery view. Next, we're going to talk about audio. I have Voicemeeter as my speaker, and I have Voicemeeter as my microphone. As you can see, the endpoint levels are working. You can test the mic, you can test the speakers. You can do all of this before you actually come into me. It's very convenient. Not going to go into great detail here, but I love the fact that you can check and look at this stuff. You can, on the next one, it says use a separate audio device to play ringtones simultaneously. You can select another device that will play the ringtone when you are invited to a Zoom meeting or receive a Zoom phone call. This device will ring simultaneously with your selected speaker. There's more help on that in the Help Center. I'm not going to go into great detail. It kind of says what it's doing. Automatically join audio by computer when joining a meeting. Okay? So what that one is saying, automatically join audio by computer when joining a meeting. Automatically join meetings with computer audio instead of displaying a prompt to join. Mute microphone when joining a meeting. This can be a good one. This is actually a good one to set, because what happens is when you come in, you may have something going on in the background, dog barking, something like that. This is great to have that and be able to come in muted. That way you don't disrupt everybody and you have all that as an issue. Okay, like, I don't know if anybody's ever done this or whatever, or you see it like in the old radio stations where they hold down the little button, or I know that announcers do this. They'll hold down the button to speak into the microphone and then lift up on the button. That's what this next one is. Press and hold space key to temporarily unmute yourself. You're using it as a toggle on, but it just holding it down keeps that working. So if that's something that you think you would use, then you have that choice. There is a sync button for a headset. So if I turn my mute on my headset, then that means Zoom will mute as well. This is something that I found out by accident, that I had selected this and I was like, oh, I wonder why all of a sudden it's doing that. Because it used to be where I had to come over to my actual computer. If I walk away with my headset, I'd have to come back over to the computer and turn it on and off. But this syncs up that audio on and off. Very nice. Next, we go to screen share. You can see right here on the menu. Enter full screen when a participant shares screen. I definitely do not do this. I do not want to have that screen share taken over something, especially if I'm pulling something in and I have things on the screen that I want to put in certain spots. I don't do this, so I leave this off. Maximize Zoom window when a participant shares a screen. I do not. Again, maximize or enter full screen. I don't do either one of those. Scale to fit shared content to Zoom window. Automatically scale the shared screen to fit the size of the Zoom window. Yeah, I do that all the time. I want that to stay within that Zoom window area. Show Zoom windows during screen share. This is a great one that I use all the time, because a lot of times I'm in a meeting with someone and I have to show them where the audio or where the video settings or some settings down at the bottom, or things that they can do with some of the tools and what they mean. So I like to be able to show the Zoom windows in a screen share. If you don't enable this, it won't let you share what's in your Zoom. So there's some personal information sometimes inside there, like the link of the show or maybe the invite code or something like that. You may not want to be able to show that. So that's why they have that. This next one's a very useful tool if you're collaborating with someone. It's enable the remote control of all applications. What is fantastic about this is you're able to allow someone to take control and show you, and they can walk you through on your side of what's going on. It's giving remote control access to your computer, basically. It's really kind of cool. That's a very convenient one. Obviously, I don't have this one on very often, but there are some times when I'm in a meeting that I want to add that or be sure to turn it off later, kind of thing. Side-by-side mode, you can see that basically what that is you have your screen share on the left side, and you have, and I can't do this because I have dual monitors on right now, but you would have the presentation on one side and you'd have the people on the other side. That would be side-by-side mode. This is very convenient if you want to keep an eye on people falling asleep during your presentation. No, I'm just kidding. But very convenient. If you're sharing your screen, you don't want other notifications, system notifications. This silences those system notifications so they don't pop up on your screen while you're sharing that particular desktop. I have this turned on automatically so that doesn't happen during the screen shares. The next section is chat. You can see it here. There's all kinds of features, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details on the chat. If you use Zoom chat, and this is something that you use just like you use Facebook messaging or you use Hangouts as your chat or you whatever, then this is kind of what this is based with Zoom. So for example, on this main screen here, you can see back here, if I go to chat, you see this is chat and these are all the things that we have there. If I change one of these, like the left side menu, light to dark, you can see this is the chat that it's talking about. I do not personally use this that much. Very little, I would say. Maybe hardly at all. So I'm not going to go into great detail. If you want to learn more, they have a great page on the Zoom Help Center that will take you right to that. Next up is virtual background. This is the section, if I go here, that shows you what you have. You can see I have a green screen. I can add photos. I just click on one of these photos. I believe this is a default one. I've added a bunch of other ones. You can actually now add video. So I can actually, and it has a little video camera down in the bottom left corner. You can see those kind of things. If you're not sure and the green's not exactly right, if you're on an image or a video or something like that, you can click this green to pick the color. And what it'll do is it'll turn that back green and you just click on the green section back there. If you don't have a green screen, you would select this and it would make it all, you can see how it's kind of funky because I do have a green screen. So what it does is it tries to pull that image out even without a green screen. You can mirror your video, so it's the other way. Very basic, very simple. There's a lot to it. Again, this is one that if you do not have the Zoom desktop with the orange and blue menu, the one that I always talk about, the orange and blue menu open, you will not have virtual background as a choice. Okay. Next, we're talking about recording. You can see right here, set your location where you want your Zoom meetings to record locally. Okay. There's cloud recording and local recording. Notice cloud recording is not allowed on the free version. Okay. So you won't see that on the free version. And I try to remember all these things, but sometimes I miss on some of this because sometimes people say, oh, I don't see that. I don't have that on mine, but I think I got it this time. Choose a location for the recorded files when the meeting ends. Mine automatically go to this place, but if I choose this, then I can choose the location of where I want it to go. Record a separate audio file for each participant who speaks. I know that some people love this because you might have one of your people that is in your Zoom that is just terrible sound and you want to do some edits, maybe using Audacity or something like that. So you can actually record a separate audio for each one. Now keep in mind now, you have a certain, like it tells me how much is remainder here. So if I use up a lot of my recorded videos, I might have to buy some extra space. Like here's your cloud recording right here. How much space I have if I record into the cloud. But this is all based on your hard drive of what you're using. So that one is a bit different for that. Optimize for third-party video editor. So you can get stuff ready for those things. I'm not going to go into great detail on all these. You can see what some of these are. Add timestamp to the recording. Record video during screen sharing. So you can either record the video or not record the video when you're screen sharing. Keep temporary recording files. So there you go. This is the recording end of everything. Next is profile. To edit your profile, it's pretty much going to take you on the web. You do all of that on the web side of things, but when you click on that link, it takes you right to the right page. Statistics. You can see statistics of the Zoom meeting that you're in right now. You can see how much of the CPU I'm using, how much memory I'm using overall, and etc. You can check audio, video, screen sharing. It'll show you all the statistics. It's really kind of cool while it's on and running. You can see that the network is wired directly. So a lot of cool stuff that you have right there too on the statistics side of the actual running show. Great way to give them feedback. It uses whatever email you use to sign in with. So remember that if you're in an account that you don't go to very often, but this is the one you use for Zoom, then you need to check the email over there to see where that feedback comes back. It does have a list of all of the shortcuts. This is a really good one to look through. Have a look, like to quickly mute your video or your audio. I can do Alt A on a desktop, and then remember this is on PC, and then video Alt V, and it's a toggle. You just go back and forth, and you can mute everyone except the host. Sometimes you might have like 20 people in there and they're all kind of talking, and you need to mute everybody really quick so it's just the host talking so you can speak and maybe say something. That's Alt M. That's a very convenient one to know. Start and stop screen sharing. Also, if you can't figure out how to stop screen sharing, Alt S. So there are some really good ones on here that you may want to just research this and go through. Switching cameras if you have 2-camera mode on. All kinds, show and hide the chat panel. You got the invite window that you can open up just by clicking Alt I. A lot of stuff is on Alt. Some of the things are in Control here, but Windows uses a lot of Control stuff. So you have to make sure that you're on Zoom when you're selecting these things. So that becomes really important. Okay, just so you know. And the last one is accessibility options, and it has a bunch of stuff there that you can just for people who are disabled and have to see bigger text or older like myself, font size and things like that. You can change all that. So that is the settings within the Zoom desktop application. Next, stick around for the settings on the website and some of the settings you have and choices over there.